Guys, it's Serba here, and I'm with I Am Turkish against BoiledGrecha and vmalina on the bottleneck map on my Confederation account. As you can see, we start in the middle, which already gives us an advantage as this map really heavily favors the middle. And so, we go for the containers. As you can see, I get this one and this one here, as well as a few containers on this side. And I get the one in the middle right here. And I Am Turkish is trying to scout their bases. And so, here's our view of the red player and the yellow player. So I say that I will go for Avia, so I go for an HQ3 rush without a factory, so I build it now. And I go for Avia factory. And so I Am Turkish is going for vehicles though. Zeus, Torrent, and that. As you can see, this one rifleman right here basically ruins our entire surprise factor. They scout us out. And so they know exactly what we're doing. And so, I go with this one vertex to see if they're also going for Avia. But the red player is not. As you can see, he's going full anti-air. Seems like a full ground build. And the yellow player here is also going full ground. So we don't have to worry about air threats. So I make this cyclone here so that I can kill any scouts in the bushes so that that rifleman that came here earlier can't do what he did before. As you can see, kill him. And now I just send the cyclone around looking for more scouts. As you see, I Am Turkish here is going for an attack with his few Zeus and Torrents that he has, while he builds up a little bit of another attack, and he is going to go for HQ4. I'm trying to look for any scouts that are around, and that's why I keep like sending my vertex around the map to see if I can kill any scouts before they go into bushes or something like that. And as you see, I'm also making Zeus for myself so that I can defend myself. So I Am Turkish sees this and he sieges up. And as you can see, 5 torrents absolutely shredded the yellow player's army basically. So he has no front line and those snipers are gone. And so right here, I Am Turkish is trying to push his advantage. But he doesn't have enough Zeus to actually defend those torrents. And so these infantry and the few units that are getting around are killing the torrents, basically making his attack ineffective. And then for some reason, I don't know why, he moved his torrents up on top of the hill, which fully made his attack lose steam. But I, in that time, have gone for HQ4, and am now going for Shield and Zeus build. This red player here is going for a Chameleon, Double Jaguar, and Porcupine build. And so we decide to again attack the yellow player. And since I have a shield now, the advantage is kind of on our side because our units will live longer. But as you see, the yellow player here had the same idea, and so did the red player. They decided to both move to the middle of the map to try to attack us. I Am Turkish's army was basically wiped out in the first confrontation with the yellow player, and they basically destroyed each other. And right when I saw these jaguars come here, I turned my shield back on, and basically just let them do their work, since there's still no chameleon yet. As you see, this Fuse Zeus was able to take out all those jaguars, all those snipers and stuff from the yellow and the red player. Resistance doesn't stand a chance against a Confederation if shield is on. Without chameleon, of course. And so here, since there's no air defense anymore, I send my Vertex down to help out here and wipe out these snipers so they can't do any more damage. And I decide to try to press my advantage and attack the yellow player, but he rebuilds an army faster than I thought, and so I just retreat my Zeus to try to keep them alive so they can fight again, and I can save those resources. I Am Turkish here is trying to tell me to move my Zeus down, and I was just waiting for this shield so that I can actually be more effective, because my Zeus and my shield actually aren't maxed for their shield for level 16. The Zeus are kind of whatever, and so using them together makes them more effective, really. As you see, I'm saying I'm gonna rally my units down to the middle here, because this is where the real fight in the game is. And I Am Turkish is gonna tell me that he will go nuclear, or space strike in this case. So I take on the yellow player's army with this many Zeus and a shield, and those snipers and jaguars do not stand a chance. They get wiped out by the Zeus, and I have very few losses on my side. And so I decide to try to press my advantage again. And so you'll see me moving this way. But as soon as I see this here, this chameleon, I turn back because Turkish and I do not have enough to defend back here. So we can't take this chameleon on if he decides to try to attack our bases, and so I have to use this army to try to defend against this attack. As you saw back there, though, I wasn't exactly firing on the chameleons themselves. I was shooting at the units that I saw exposed before, which is more effective, really, than shooting at the chameleons, because you get rid of the major threat before, the more minor threat. And yes, the chameleon is more of a minor threat if it has no units under it. I sent my Vertex down to kill this last Jaguar so I could save this shield and this Zeus, and basically preserve the resources. So the yellow player is now going HQ4, which signifies he will also go chameleon soon, as you see. And I Am Turkish is now, in a second here, going to start preparing a space strike. There you go. And so now it's basically a defend till he can space strike them. Especially since they have no air. Okay, and so I Am Turkish tells me basically to try to fully defend us, and so that they can't counterattack us and beat us. And so, as you saw, they have a giant army here. So all I have is these 10 or so Zeus and the shields. And so I put them on stop, and I use gold attack for the extra range. And right when I see the chameleon fog, I start force firing, so that I can try to actually destroy the units instead of standing there and dying. As you see, my army here got wiped out. They still have a pretty large attack force heading up this way, and all that we have for defense is I Am Turkish's few torrents, a few assaults and stuff, and basically the newly produced units that are coming out. As you saw, I should have showed this before, but I Am Turkish space strike this red player, and he even got to the point of taking out the headquarters of his base. And so those torrents do some damage and destroy a few units, but really this defense here isn't going to hold up, basically. As you see, I'm still pumping out Zeus, trying to defend this space strike, really, that's being built again. But right when they see the space strike, the red player goes to destroy it. But in doing that, he gives me the opportunity to kill a few jaguars because he's not shooting at my units. And so this attack is slowly getting cleaned up, and we'll be able to hold it off, but we will have some losses. As you see, I'm also going for another factory so that I can make more Zeus faster. And so I Am Turkish cleared up the yellow players, and now basically we just gotta rebuild. I tell him to produce torrents because mine are weak, but as you see, we still are being attacked. He tells me to fall back since that's not a good confrontation, and we line up here to try to defend this area. Shields on, and I go into force fire on those chameleons. And so this minor attack is kind of cleaned up. I tell him with the vertex to attack this area, but I don't believe he listens in this area and at this time. And he instead tells me to go full hammers instead of my Zeus, and so I could do hammer shield. And since my hammer is closer to max than my Zeus, I do listen to him. As you see, he space strikes this red player again. And now his base is gone. And so I move down with these Zeus and shields to try to attack as much as I can. And as you see, the yellow player also has chameleon now. So this is a lot of grenadiers in the fog, as well as a bunch of jaguars and stuff. And so the real strategy here is to do as much damage as possible. But since Zeus aren't anti-tank units, anti-infantry units, they're not going to be able to take out that many of those. And so the idea here is to thin out their numbers so that when they get to our base, we have the best chance of defending them, basically. And as you see, for the most part, their numbers are fully thinned out. They really don't have much else to continue their attack with. And I am with 3 factories pumping out hammers. As you see, another space strike, this time on the yellow player. And when his base gets wiped out, both players here decide to throw in the towel. This is when they give up. Right when this attack fails, and they realize they have no hope. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.